Every community will develop its own unique jargon. That's just the way things are. If you're worried about sitting down at your first D&D session and being lost in the lingo, then fear not. Here are 5 common phrases explained for D&D. Hi, I'm Alex. I've been a forever DM running my own homebrewed campaign for the past 10 years, and I understand the importance of communication at the table. With that in mind, let's get into the jargon and roll some dice. Number 1, AC and DC. No, I'm not talking about the band or the electrical systems. These are acronyms for 2 important aspects of the game. AC stands for Armor Class, which describes how heavily armored your character is. Lightly armored PCs tend to have a value of 12 or 13, while heavily armored characters can go up to the 20s. DC stands for Difficulty Class and describes how challenging an action or event is. Easy actions can have a DC around 5, while nearly impossible actions can scale all the way up to the mid-20s. So how does gameplay work with these numbers? Well, if you want to hit a target, you'll need to overcome that target's armor class. You do this by rolling a 20-sided die and then adding a set of modifiers, depending on your character's details. Most melee weapons use strength, or in some cases dexterity modifiers to add to that roll, along with a proficiency bonus if your character is familiar with the weapon you're using. If the total value of those numbers is greater than or equal to the AC, then you've landed a hit. Of course, similar systems are used to hit you, so be prepared. Difficulty classes work similar to armor classes, but they govern attempted actions on a number of other things, like trying to climb a fence, keep out of sight of a patrolling guard, or breaking open a padlock. These systems help the DM quantify player actions and determine if they pass or fail. And since anything can be attempted in D&D, this system is vitally important. Number 2, the phrase roll for initiative is everyone's favorite. This is the battle cry that tells everyone involved that combat has started. The technical meaning of this term describes rolling a 20-sided die and then adding your character's dexterity modifier. This number is used to determine where you fit into the order of combat. Going first has obvious perks, while being last opens you up to the most potential damage before you're able to react, so make sure to roll high. Number 3, murder hobo. Now, I don't know how this one's language is going to affect the YouTube algorithm, but I'm gonna have to risk it. Players who prefer to kill first and ask questions later get this title bestowed on them, usually by their annoyed DM. In the long run, this frequently makes the game harder for the player, since NPCs with vital information or helpful advice are usually killed off, and eventually the authorities are sent in to deal with them. Remember, every action has a reaction. Number 4. This one is a general description of how to roll dice. Since there are so many different types of dice used in D&D, jargon was developed to quickly and easily talk about what type of dice need to be rolled. So instead of saying roll 3 10-sided dice, you can just say roll 3d10. It's so much faster and simpler to decipher once you get the hang of it. And besides, it's super satisfying to say something like, you take 8d6 damage from fireball, and then you grab up a huge handful of dice. Finally, number 5, the BBEG. We saved this one for last because that's where BBEGs usually go in a campaign. As you may have guessed, BBEG is an acronym, and it stands for Big Bad Evil Guy or Gal. This is the main antagonist, the big bad boss. This is Bowser from Mario Brothers or Ganondorf from The Legend of Zelda. The buck stops here, and so do the heroes on their adventure, so good luck taking them down. There you have it, 5 common phrases you're armed with for your first game session. Make sure to enjoy learning all about them and more as you play. Hey, if you're enjoying this content, then comment jargon below to let me know to keep making videos like this. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified anytime I post new videos on my channel.